Hi, I'm Melissa and this is the Book Break. Today I'm at the Salt Lake City FanX Comic Convention and I'm actually going to talk to a Utah steampunk author named Scott Tarbet. Let's go! Just like I said, we are here with Scott Tarbet. Thank you so much for being with me, Scott.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you, Melissa.
So I have to say, it's so great to see you at a con like this because I knew you from singing.
Right.
So
yep.
Let's tell our viewers about this. So you're an author, but tell us a little bit about your day job too.
Oh, well, I have so many day jobs in this gig economy. I teach. Or I have stopped teaching. I didn't know if you knew that. I have stopped teaching. I barbecue. I sing with the Utah Opera Company and I write books.
Yeah, so you're definitely an artist all the way around.
All the way around.
Okay, so tell our viewers about your books because you have such an interesting day job and life, and let's hear about your interesting books.
I write speculative fiction, including science fiction, in the Jules Verne vein. Which means I take real things that are happening and project them into the future. Or if I'm doing steampunk, I take it back 120 years and project that into the future.
Oh, wow.
Which is what the definition of steampunk. We get to erase the 20th century, which was a miserable, awful century. and go back to a time when technology was hopeful, when it was optimistic, when it looked like technology was going to save the world.
Yeah.
Not like it is now when we think that technology is destroying the world. We know technology is destroying the world.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit more about steampunk because steampunk it's not really a new genre, but it seems to be gaining a lot of new popularity.
It does. Steampunk as a literary genre is fairly new, dates from the 1980s. The aesthetic, though, the steampunk aesthetic never went away. We've always harkened back to the gay 90s, the 1890s, with gaslight and top hats and tails and spats and canes.
Yes.
And all the things, dressing like a dandy, the way they did in the steampunk, what is now called the steampunk era, the Victorian era.
Yeah, and it's fun because you can go to costume stores now and get steampunk costumes.
Oh, absolutely. You can buy them at Kmart and Walmart. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and that used to be something pretty unique. And so it's not only in reading, but just in our general culture.
When I first started doing it, there wasn't steampunk cosplay. There was steampunk literature, but now there's steampunk cosplay, there's steampunk music, there are steampunk movies. The Wild Wild West is a real good example of a steampunk movie, and a lot of steampunk elements in a lot of other movies. The Sherlock Holmes, the latest couple of Sherlock Holmes movies are steampunk as well. So what I get to do in a lot of my stories is take classic American stories, world stories, and take it back to the age of Jules Verne and inject those kinds of considerations into them.
Yeah, and now tell me, how long have you been writing?
Let's see, I turned 65 in a few weeks, so almost 65 years.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you.
So tell me, how long then have you had books out?
I got traditionally published with A Midsummer Night's Steampunk, my first book. I think 2013. 2013. I'd had short stories before that, but this was my first actual traditional publication.
Awesome. And then what is this one about? Obviously with steampunk.
Obviously with steampunk.
A female character.
If you take the cliff notes from the Shakespeare play, A Midsummer Night's Dream, pull it all to the end of the 19th century, replace all of the fairy magic with Victorian steam technology magic, then you have this.
Wow.
The same two pairs of young lovers, Winston Churchill and his later wife, are two of the young lovers.
Oh, wow.
Both the royal families of Germany and England, all sorts of fun stuff.
Oh, cool.
International intrigue.
And you as an opera singer, have you been in A Midsummer Night's Dream?
I have not.
That's
I have
probably
not.
one of the few you haven't been in.
Right? That's because Utah Opera Company hasn't put it on.
Oh.
But I would have, yeah.
Yeah, you would be great. I've been lucky enough to hear Scott sing, and he's phenomenal.
Oh,
so
thank you.
Not only do we get to read your stuff, we get to hear you as well, which is great.
Oh, thank you.
So tell me a little bit more about other publications that you have.
Let's grab a copy of Dragon Moon. This one, I think everybody listening is going to understand that the United States has given up the technological capability to get to the moon. Mm-hmm. The Chinese have announced that they're going. They're developing the technological ability to do it, and that can only end badly for us. So somebody's got to fix it. And as an author, I got to imagine the fix for it.
Awesome. And now this is Gold Quill. This is an award.
Right.
Tell me a little bit more about your award.
The League of Utah Writers, which is one of the oldest writing groups in the country, every year has a contest for the best work by their membership. And in 2018, this won the Gold Quill for the best novel.
And what is the Gold Quill?
The Gold Quill it represents kind of the pinnacle of what happens in the League of Utah Writers. We, as a league, we try and help each other grow and improve in our writing skills and capabilities. And this says that I'm up there in the top 5 or 10%.
Awesome. Well, is there somewhere that our viewers can go to learn more about you?
Go to scotttarbet.timp, like the mountain, TIMP.net, or follow me on Facebook.
Awesome. And if you had one quick last piece of advice for an aspiring author, what would that be? Sit
down and do it. Stop making excuses. Sit down, butt in seat, fingers on keyboard. There's a whole acronym for that. Butt in seat, fingers on keyboard, and get it done.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Scott.
Thank you, Melissa.
Great talking to you.
Wonderful to talk to you.
Thanks. And thank you for joining us on the Book Break, and we'll see you next time.